Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and I danced on too many weddings at the same time. I have the feeling I kind of have to apologize for the lack of complete stuff, but we can take at least a look at stuff that I have done in the meantime. I kind of went into... I can't really tell what I did, but it's just... I painted the palace, for example, and I think I found a nice blue that we can use for that. Now the sun is not where we need it, but you can see it here. I've built a bit more on the palace, even on the interior. Nothing special inside. I hooked up some guns to the palace because if we add something that might attack us, we want to be able to shoot back. And the comments, by the way, there were some helpful comments about what to add, so basically what to use, and I'm kind of torn. I think I will add the Reavers, although they seem to be the thing that poses the biggest threat. So I need something, I need something that challenges me. If I just add cargo ships or something like that, that might be good, but I have the feeling I need something that really challenges me. The Reavers could be the solution for that, but I will maybe make a test how bad they are. The orcs, I will not add corruption. The orcs seem to be a lot less finicky, a lot less dangerous because they just come for the player, and the Reavers seem to be now attacking grids and so could be interesting to see. But the problem that I have is that not all my grids are as weaponized as they could be and maybe need to be, so I kind of have to balance that out. I don't want to risk my world right now, and that might be the case if I add something that is really, really strong. Maybe I ramp it up with cargo ships and then back to other things, or add other things. We will see, but for now, no enemies. I will change that. I constantly get, not constantly, but I get more questions about if this is modded. Yeah, this is a modded world, by the way. I reduced the mod count, but I still have some crazy stuff in here. So if you're not interested in modded content, then I'm sorry I can't help you. So let us get back to what I've done. We have a container down here now. I made that thing. It still needs to be set up. It is set up in the standard way as it comes out of the projector. That needs to change. I added another cargo dropship and then ripped parts of it off because I kind of have an idea. I saw Dune, the Denis Villeneuve Dune, some concept art for the ornithopters that are in there, and let's say it that way, I can't replicate that. Putting wings on them is still a problem because the flapping doesn't work. I might try again with some projectors. Not sure if I'm able to do that. I have an idea, but we will see how that works out. What I want to do is I want to upgrade this thing and have it as an ornithopter basically, but I want to use vector thrust and then the gravitic manipulators. I might not have to add as many. They are kind of cheaty in the way that they use really low amounts of energy, and that makes it possible to rip out the reactors I have in here, because we still are on this kind of no reactors thing. when it comes to all the Dune stuff. This thing will keep its reactors. That is a standard thing. But if I can replace this model and leave it at the station up there and maybe use that thing, because that thing would also be able to go up to space, and use batteries with it, that kind of would be interesting to me to see. But that's the last thing I have worked on. So I've worked more on the carry-all. The carry-all runs on batteries now. I thought about adding a reactor, then I stopped it because we have solar panels on there. They are cheaty and crazy solar panels, but the solar panels definitely drop once we don't have sun on them anymore. And that's why I need batteries on here. I packed some batteries into the hull down there. I'm not sure if it's enough. Again, the gravitic manipulators really don't use a lot of power. So this amount of batteries hopefully is enough to keep it running through the night. And I will make the test if that thing flies through the night. The good thing is night is very short. The sun basically just circles around, goes behind the mountains and comes back up. So it's not too problematic, but I don't know, the whole thrusters here run on 30 megawatts or something. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. At the moment it is anchored, but as soon as we tell it to not be anchored anymore, see, we have power for 2 hours, and that's because of the batteries. So the sun time is 6 hours, but let us see. I had a way to see. So they will never run out here. And again, I don't know, we run on really low amounts of energy. Maximum required input is 20 megawatts. That's all for one of the thrusters. And again, they don't use that up. It is crazy how, yeah, it's crazy cheaty thrusters. But again, we are here in real sci-fi land, where we can definitely use all of them without hesitation, and where we can use real sci-fi things that keep things like that afloat. I don't know. The Dune world is a world where ships navigate through space by sheer willpower, basically. So, or strength of mind. So I'm happy with that. I repaired parts of this thing. Repaired the front. Prepared a hinge to add the mining front part again, and I have to see how I make that, and then later add maybe the drill rig later again. But then I need to make precautions so that thing doesn't explode. This took longer than I thought. I used the spray paint gun to paint it, because the interior has paint already, and I didn't want to repaint all of this, although it would have been faster. But yeah, let's say it that way. This is the corridor that leads into the throne room that will come here, and has some corridors to the sides that lead into communication. The weapons. There's an armory and a greenhouse. I think I want to add a greenhouse. I'm not sure how yet, but that could be interesting. I'm not sure. Do I still have I don't have the mods for the trees anymore. We will have to see how that works out. Maybe in the future we get trees back again, and then I can hopefully finish a greenhouse or something like that in there. That needs to be off to the side. Maybe it comes out of the mountain or so with a big glass dome, something like that. I'm not sure yet. Good. Yeah, there were a lot of congrats for episode 900. Thanks for that. That's really appreciated. I didn't do any special, but people still recognized the really big number. So, next thing. I have 2 rover chassis here. I tested out how I want to set up a rover. I need a rover to go and start the wind farm. The wind farm will be somewhere over there in visual range, but I checked how far I can go away with it without too many power issues. And then I need, yeah, to transport materials over there. That will be interesting. And now that's why I kind of started to do the Ornithopter and the container, so I can use that. I want to add another cargo truck so that I can put containers maybe on the truck and then carry them over there. I had an idea for another system, how I can set up a hinge so that I can anchor a rotor part to a rotor thing, have basically something. Yeah, all the other trucks with trailers I've made are set up with rotors to keep the trailer attached, and I had an idea how I can hopefully make that thing a bit smaller, and that's the next thing I need to do to get that running. And I think that I will modify this chassis, make it a bit closer together, make this into another truck part with a flatbed that I can put the containers on. This will be a rover with the maybe built-in repair systems and all that stuff, so I can start the whole thing, and then maybe with this thing being able to connect to the containers, so that I basically can ship in containers with the parts and then leave that thing there, ship the containers in, and have this thing use them then. Basically I have a container that I can use with built-in repair systems. I could also do that. I'm not sure yet, but maybe I will have a rover this time for that. We will see. And later we can maybe just connect them to the wind farm itself and have that going for us. So, but for that we definitely need a connection. We need a way to connect up the containers or the container to the base, and so we should start to finish that thing. You can see I prepared the landing spots. I made them like I did them on the ships and on the other stations with the red markings, and I will put connectors on top of the whole thing. So we can go maybe from here and just lead over to this space here. Come on, let us use a curve for now to not have too many conveyor junctions. Oh yeah, you can see that I made the... Ugh, yeah, I don't have a way out of here. That's bad. Maybe I need to cut one here for now. So you can see that I made the space a whole lot bigger. there was just a smaller plateau here, and I widened it to here, and I widened it into, with a projector, I widened it into the sandy bit here. The ramp works, and we can go with that now. Then I added some lights because it gets fairly dark here once the sun is going away, and I want to have some spotlights, some lights around to light up some of the things, so that I don't have to set up light poles or something like that. I'm in here, I'm testing out light situations. So you can see I have set up this thing, but I'm not happy with it. It looks nicer, kind of, because it has these lit up alcoves, but the problem is then everything here is too dark, and with these lights I can push the what's that called? The offset. I can push the offset down, and maybe that lights up the area better. I could bring the radius up. That would definitely light up everything. The having it in the middle is still the nicest way to light up the whole thing, and still have a bit of a contrast between the alcoves and the things. I could bring the light somewhere here. Let us test that. How does it look when I put it in front of one of these things? That could... What did I set this to? I think I didn't set it to 20, to a radius of 20. It's set to a radius of 10. Again, I want to have, don't know, a light situation that looks a bit better than that. It kind of gives shadows. That I want to have some shadows in there. It's a weird thing. The lights in Space Engineers just work in a really weird way, where the shadows are not, don't know, it doesn't look sometimes too perfect, because basically lights work through walls, and if I make the radius 20, we would see the backside of this wall here. You can see that with these lights, that the backside gets lit up. The shadows are not really perfect, and I kind of want a situation where there is some shadows in this corridor, so that we don't have a perfectly lit up corridor. We could reduce the amount of the radius, but why am I getting distracted? I'm getting this. Oh, I don't know. It makes it feel more realistic. These crazy everything lit up. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should go with middle of the alcove. And with this lighting, I get the shadows on the side, so maybe this is easier. We will see. This doesn't work really. I have to find a way. Here it works. Kind of. It makes the room a bit darker, has these lighter edges, but I still have lights in the middle that don't make the room too dark. And it works, especially with this crazy color. And again, the walkway will basically lead into a throne room. It is differently set up in the game. I kind of threw out the game idea or the complete layout from the game, because the palace has a lot of rooms, and I fear that I make the grid just too big if I put all the rooms in. So we'll maybe have a conference room with communication set up, then throne room, maybe in the back of the throne room, a bit of a living space, and then to the sides, to the other side. So communication space, discussions or whatsoever, armory and greenhouse, throne room with a small living space in the back. I might even throw out the idea of having multiple stories or something like that. I'm not sure. It's again, the grid already is quite big, and it's a fixed grid, so that works out a lot better. But again, I'm having so many big grids in this world that I maybe should hold back at one point, start to hold back at one point. Good. So we go with connectors. This will be the usual cargo setup, so that we can fill the cargo container and then move it over to the build site wherever we need the stuff and however we need it. I'm not sure if I will use, again, here I could try to use a crane or something like that to move the container on a truck. I'm not sure how we'll do that in the end. I don't want to put a complete industrial yard in front of this palace. There still needs to be a palace, kind of, and not a work site with crazy arms sticking out. And again, we have crazy anti-gravity lifters that can stuff like that. We have crazy flying wedges that are just hovering without really noticeable drives. These things, these thrusters here, are just for the looks. They don't do anything. Basically, the whole thing is just too heavy to be driven by these two hydrogen thrusters there. So they are just there for looks. Otherwise, oh yeah, one thing I want to put into the carryall, and that will be something I need to do once I see if it works on a small scale. I want to put vector thrust in there so that the vector thrust can counteract the weight of the harvester, so that I can carry the harvester around without it getting pulled down by gravity. So by gravity again, it's the whole subgrid problem with space engineers. Okay, so we move these wheels. Maybe I will pre-build it. I think that's easier. We need to widen it a bit because I want to have the trailer being somewhere, trailer hitch somewhere in between the back wheels. Oh, I could just move the... Oh, I think I will do that. I will just move the front part back and then have this part oh, that works out. That works out. Nice. This part will be the part where the hitch will be, and then I have to move the batteries somewhat. Maybe I can... No, batteries. No, batteries is not the right word. Batteries. This... Put the batteries somewhere here. makes stuff maybe a bit easier. Now I can just cut off this part, bring it in, and hopefully with this I have to see how I do this. So the idea is to compact the trailer hitch a bit with maybe hinges and some rotors. We are maybe able to give it a bit of a more compact design. So what I did was have rotor on the bottom, stack a rotor on there, then stack another rotor on there. And the idea now is to cut this out, put the rotors somewhere in here so that the whole thing can be mounted to a plate that kind of, it's hard to explain. Now with all the new hitboxes, we get a better way to basically mount things now, and we can hopefully compact the hinge so flat that we don't have to make these crazy stacks again. So 3. I want to just put some blocks here to save the whole thing once we cut in there. So cut this off, put the rotor in there. This rotor will be fairly free to rotate. It will just be a thing that okay, let's see. Now we can make the blocks really close to the whole thing, and it shouldn't clang out too much if we set it up the right way, although you can already see that it see it now. It kind of stopped clanging, and that's the idea that I had. If we now put a rotor head on the other side, we may be able to get the whole thing to. Okay, if we get this thing in, again, these blocks are just to secure the whole thing. I have the feeling that when I cut absolutely freely into it, I might ruin it. Then it might fall apart. So now the same thing over here, just to save. Get away. Yeah, I'm doing too much stuff at the same time again. So this, and now we put a rotor head, a rotor part, stick. Now, okay, we will have to get rid of this for the moment. Stick a rotor in here. Get rid of the rotor head. And then, can we do this? That's the question. 3. And put the rotor part on there. Can. So now if we attach this, it worked, but it could be the clangiest thing you have ever seen. So if I unlock this, it doesn't fly away. That's good. So let's hope it's not that bad. It's just, oh, it's not that bad. So if I go and change the rotor displacement here to... I saw somebody made the math and kind of took a look at how crazy it needs to be. Okay, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Instead of these, I will use blaster blocks. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I'm too scared for the of this thing to maybe clang out eventually. Does a blaster block? No, a blaster block doesn't attach to a rotor head. Let's use the vanilla ones. I need them on the sides anyways, because if I put stuff on there, let's go with the corners. Oh, come on. So I don't know. I hope you understand this, because I will finish this definitely off screen and present you the thing. So this thing is then the rotation, the sideways rotation. So this part. Then I will put a hinge on here. A hinge on here. I could make it. Ooh. 3x3 hinge? No. Okay, one thing I need to do is turn this block off. And this one will have unlimited up 45, down 45. Okay, the other way around. So that is just to limit the range of movement of that thing. And then I can turn that off too. I don't need power on these things. Three. Oh, I could just use a small hinge. I think that would have the same functionality. Question is, can I put the rotor on top of this? It just gives the whole thing the back and forth motion. So this angle, I just used a part. 8 hinge part, hinge. So it makes the whole thing flexible, and this way we can then drive better over all terrains. It's French at least, isn't it? So, and now we go with an advanced rotor to connect it in the end. So, and this is then the hinge plate. We need to... I turned it off. I turned it off far too fast. But it works. It seems to be working. So now let's bring it back into position so that we can build on it. Velocity. It works fine. Nice. And again, the hinge will be turned off too. It's just there to, again, give us some ability to move the front part from the back part individually. And I hope that I can put blocks in there now and hopefully not ruin it. And hopefully don't get too much clang in the whole system. I hope that was understandable and not too crazy. Of an explanation. So once I have wheels on the trailer, I can cut this, not cut this off, but then I can turn off the whole thing again. With the hinge, I can make it movable again. The only problem that I have is I need a way to charge this thing because it will run on batteries, definitely. And I need a good way to charge it in the end. And cut this off. Don't know. Maybe I'm not sure yet how to do that. Exchangeable batteries could be an idea. I'm not sure. We will see how that works out in the end. This wall will stay for a moment, and now I can build the trailer up top here and can just attach and detach it whenever I want. I chose the advanced rotor just because it looks beefier. I think the small one would have done the same trick. Good. That works. Nice. Good. Yeah, you saw it. It was kind of the mix of what do I do, where do I start, and I couldn't really decide. This thing will be the next. So I will put some wings on it somewhere in the center of mass. I removed one of the reactors already to put in batteries. Next part will be to put in a battery. Maybe I can just do that now. I could have used the azimuth batteries. Not sure if that is a good idea, but the thing is, the next thing I need is another charging port for this thing. Then I will go with gray for now and turn off the digital camo. I want to change this back part here, but it needs to stay this way to be able to pick up the containers. But I had the idea to try to make it movable, so that we maybe have some hinge parts in the back that pull the legs in. The ornithopters in most of the Dune stuff I saw are either bird-like or insect-like, and kind of have these have wings or folding in legs. Again, in the game they look like big fireflies that can pull in their legs, and it would be nice to try that. We always, I think people talked about this and said maybe try this, try that, and I always had the feeling that it is not a good thing. But now with the new hitboxes we might end up with something that we can use and that doesn't crash the thing too much. And if we lock it down and maybe use timers to just lock it in place, we could end up with something that works. So I want to cut out all the thrusters, and we can cut out all the ports for So this thing is set up to be able to just accept hydrogen thrusters for people that want to use that in vanilla. And I don't need that for this thing, so I can rip out some parts that are maybe not needed when it comes to that. Again, I want to see, and the thing is, I want to see if I can put projectors on the nacelles of the vector thrust system, because then maybe we can put in a projection of a wing or something like that sits on a rotating part anyway. So the part would rotate anyway and would be flexible anyways. Putting a projector on there shouldn't make it too crazy, because the gravitic manipulators weigh tons, and maybe we can get it to work. Why is that thing? This thing looks completely crooked. Could that be it? But that might just be a shadow. And then we at least get the illusion of wings working on that thing. I hope that's a good idea to do that with. I want to test that out. Again, I will do that in the meantime until the next recording, and I will finish up this thing, put a trailer behind it, and then finish up this thing, just to make it possible to move big loads of materials to the build side of the wind farm. Again, I want to have that inside. Oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to show. So the whole system here that transfers energy still works. We can even upgrade the power transmitter more, and it seems that we can transfer energy with a maximum output of 195 over 4.16 kilometers. It seems the more power we have, the farther we can go away. So if that is a number I can take from this transmitter, and if this transmitter can transmit that amount of power, then we can go a bit away with a wind farm and have the energy production somewhere out there. I don't want to bring it out of range of the world loading around me. That might otherwise make problems. But it seems that power production works even if I'm not there. So it should work out in the end. I want to put some wind turbines in there, some normal ones, but I want to try and put big ones in there to really bring power in. I have the big wind turbines in there, and I don't want to use... Ooh, they put in a new one. Oh, let's take a look. So this is a mod with bigger wind turbines, or with wind turbines we can use. I use them on Fundland quite a bit, and these are normal wind turbines like you would see them, but I don't want to use one of these. They need to be futuristic, so this seems to be a crazy thing. Is that stackable? If that is stackable, that would be amazing. We need it to look kind of fancy, and this is already a cool thing. And I want to test it. We can even stack this. This thing is stackable. So yeah, we will see how that works out in the end. But that will be then the main source of power for the planet, and we can see how big the range is. Maybe we can put a power. So the whole thing works with a transmitter and a transceiver. That thing sits here, And this thing then accepts basically the power and just makes it usable for the grids. And maybe we can put one of these things on the harvester. So if it's however the range is, we can maybe then power the harvester from far away. And yeah, we don't need to bring it back to base too often to reload the batteries, because we can't put a lot of... I don't know how many solar panels this thing would need. We could have it run on solar panels too, or lock it down and just run it on wind turbines, but if we can hide the power, maybe that would be a cool idea too. Again, this is sci-fi land. Here we give a crap about all that stuff. Again, this is all out. That's why I have these black quantum crazy power productions on there. But I want to go... It's weird to describe. I want to go with basically normal power production, but if it's a bit cheaty, I'm okay with it. And if I can power this thing from somewhere else and don't need to put in crazy power productions on the harvester, yeah, I'm good to go with it. So, this thing might go then, this tower in the end, and I might hide underground some wind turbines just for the palace to, if the mod ever fails, that we don't lose the palace. But we will see. But then I can get rid of this this power pylon basically and just use wind turbines on this crazy remote power production thing. Good. Yeah, you saw, yeah, another truck will be started, a build rover will be started, an ornithopter will be built, and we need to rebuild this, we need to start the wind farm. It's a lot to do, and I'm trying to get through it, and try to use the time that I have right now to advance these these ideas. Good, but people, I think that's all for today. Was too long, too talky, but I hope that's okay for you. People, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode, and yeah, see you then.